Would you believe me if I told you you could win the lotto, not once, but multiple times, without relying on luck? Would you be skeptical? Well, it is estimated that to win the lotto, you have to beat out odds of 175 million to 1, so being skeptical is a smart response. But if the odds are so bad, how did one guy win, not once, but 7 times? And why does he say that you can do the same thing too? Meet Richard Lustig, the 7-time grand prize winner that has already netted over $1 million in his first 3 wins alone. He has since went on to win millions more for himself and the people he has taught his system to, including Larry Dawson, the $9.09 million Iowa lottery winner, who told officials his win was due to a system his wife Kathy had learned from Lustig. Sounds too good to be true? Still skeptical? Watch as Nancy Red from the Huffington Post interviews Richard Lustig about his 7 grand prize wins and grills him about the system he used to achieve them.
You're watching HuffPost Live. I'm Nancy Red. Now, your chances of winning the lottery are 1 in 175 million. And Richard Lustig has been that one 7 times. That's right. He's taken home a jackpot 7 times. Now, you may think it's because he's a lucky man. But Richard says that luck has nothing to do with it, and you can be a big winner, too. And he's going to tell us how. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Nancy. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm looking at your book right here. It's right here on Amazon. Learn how to increase your chances of winning the lottery you had to cross out number 6 from a 7-time grand prize lottery winner. How many years have you been playing the lottery to have won 7 times? 100, 200 years?
I started playing the lottery when it came to Florida, which was about 25 years ago. And it took me a few years to start developing some things that helped me win more often. And then eventually I won my first, my second, third, and here we are today. I've now won 7 lottery game grand prizes.
And you were just playing like the rest of us. Now, full disclosure, I'm a Southern girl, so us Southern people love us some lotto. My mama says you can't win if you don't play. So we just normally get the quick picks, and, it's very exciting. Sometimes we get 2 or 3. You say it's more complicated than that. You realized that about 18 years ago, right?
Absolutely. And in fact, that's one of the things that I try to tell people all the time. Do not buy quick picks. And I know there's people watching this right now that say, what do you mean don't buy quick picks? I always buy quick picks. Well, have you won yet? Now, if I'm going to make a statement like that, I need to be able to back it up. And here's what it is. Quick picks are, for those people that don't know, are a computer-generated set of numbers for the game that you bought the quick pick for. For instance, Powerball, one of the big multi-state games. The odds of winning Powerball are 1 in 175 million. So every time you buy a quick pick, your odds are always going to be 1 in 175 million, the worst they can be. But if you pick your own numbers and you play them consistently and you never change them, actually, every time you lose, your odds get a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit better for the next drawing.
So is that what you started doing to win all this cash?
That plus many other things which are in my book, yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Nothing speaks like the actual numbers. You've been playing so long. The very first time you won, how much did you win the very first time you won the lotto?
The very first jackpot I won was 2 weeks after my son was born. He's now 20. And it was for $10,000, and it was on a scratch ticket, and it was following what I had developed this method, which at that point I didn't even know I had a method.
How do you have a method with the scratchers?
Well, here's one of the things that I tell people. I see people do this all the time. They go to the counter in the store, and there's a display of all the scratch tickets, and they say, let me see here. Well, let me have a couple of those, and, oh, you got bingo. I like bingo. Let me have a few of those, and I like the colors on that ticket right there. Let me have a couple of those. Folks, that's one of the worst things in the world you can do. You might as well put on a blindfold, take a loaded gun, and try to hit the target. It's not going to happen. So here's what you do. One of the things I preach also is about setting a budget. Do not get what's called lottery fever. Do not spend grocery money. Do not spend rent money. Figure out what you can afford. So let's just say, for this example, your budget is $100. And my method works whether you've got a $10 budget or a $10,000 budget. It doesn't matter. But for this example, we'll say it's $100. Now, scratch tickets come in all denominations, $1, $3, $5, $10, $20. So if you take your money, if it's $100, you divide it by 10. So now you're going to buy 10 $10 tickets. Here's part of the method. Don't pick 10 tickets out of different games. Buy all 10 tickets in a row of the same game. If you do that, Almost every single time you do it, there's going to be a winning ticket in there. Most of the times 2, and sometimes even 3 or 4 winning tickets in that stretch of 10 tickets in a row. You just increased your chances of winning.
I think this is a brilliant, brilliant idea. I can't wait to tell my mom, who is a Quick Pick fan and a pick and choose scratcher girl. I think we could change her luck. After 73 years, the most she's won has been like a free ticket. So we can make some changes because other people are really into this. We have Marissa Emily 7 times. I can't even win once. And then we have a question from G.I. Fine. The first time you won that $10,000 jackpot right after your son was born, what was the first thing that you did?
At that time, we were like everybody else. We were living paycheck to paycheck, and we had insurance. But as I said, I won that 2 weeks after my son was born, and the insurance doesn't cover all the medical bills, so we didn't know how we were going to pay the rest of the bills. And we were also living in an old house, and we had a leaky roof, and it's just like the scene in the movie. Every time it rained, we'd put the buckets out to catch the water. So when I won that first grand prize, the first thing I did was I paid off the hospital, and I got our roof repaired.
All right, but see, that's not what you advocate in your book. You say when you win the lottery, don't spend it all in one place.
Well, that's true. But you got to remember something. That was the first time I won. I didn't know what I was doing yet. I didn't even know I was developing a method yet. I didn't even realize that I had a method until my 4th win. Even though everybody else was still saying, oh, you're just a lucky guy. There's no such thing as a method. I'm saying I've won 4 times. How can you say that's just luck? But when I won my 5th grand prize, now people started to say, okay, wait a minute here. Nobody can be that lucky. What's your secret? That was the big question I got. And ever since then, that's what this has all been about.
Okay, so that's what it's all been about. You figured out around the 4th time. Here's the thing. We have so many stories out there talking about winning the lotto ruined them. Because what's the largest amount you've won in a lotto jackpot?
Okay. The largest amount I've won was win number 5, and that was $842,000.
So that's enough to make a lot of people crazy.
Here's why you made a comment about sometimes winning the lottery ruins people. What happens is you get somebody who's never had that kind of money in their life, and they win this big, giant grand prize. What do? They go crazy. They start throwing parties and spending money on all kinds of stuff and buying fancy cars and whatever. Folks, if you are fortunate enough to win a grand prize, the very first thing you should do is seek financial help. Get a financial planner, an accountant, a lawyer. Make sure whoever you get is a reputable person with a good reputation, and then have them help you to decide what to do with that money. The first thing you should do is pay off all your bills, set up a future plan of investments and stuff to protect yourself for the rest of your life, and then you go out and buy the talking cars.
Okay, so but you are a fan of the cars. You've gotten the cars, but here's what I want to know. You've been with your wife for longer than the lotto has existed in Florida. Has all of the fame, all of the fortune, has it ever affected your relationship?
Absolutely not. No offense against you or any other woman in the world, but I am married to the woman. Cassetta is not only my wife, but she's my best friend. She's been with me through thick and thin. And at first she had her doubts. She thought, are you really sure you know what you're doing here? And I said, no, I really don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying stuff to see if I can make something happen. And then, of course, as I kept improving and I kept winning more, she went right along with it. She's my best friend.
I love it. Now, when you were spending all this money, because how much in total? You've won a lot, but you've also spent a lot to win the lottery. How much in total do you think you have spent on lottery tickets?
I wish I knew the answer to that because I get that asked a lot now. How much have you spent versus how much have you lost and how much have you won and so forth. You got to remember, again, the first 10, 15 years or so, I didn't know what I was doing. I was experimenting. I had no idea I was going to write a book. I mean, that was the farthest thing from my mind. So I never kept track of anything. All I know is this, that I'm still able to play. I'm still winning. And I'm playing with lottery money. And I'm having fun doing it.
I love it. Okay, of all of the things you've purchased with all of the money, which is over $1 million, right, that you've won with these 7 lotto jackpots.
Yes, I'm in the millions, yes.
You're in the millions. You're in the millions. And so
yes.
With all of the millions you've won, what is your favorite thing that you've purchased?
Oh, boy, that's a toughie because I've bought a Jaguar. I now own a Harley. I bought my son his first car, which is a Beamer. And we've gone on cruises. I would have to say probably if I had to pick one item, one of the times we took all of our family on a 10-day cruise, 7 days on sea and then 4 days on land up in Alaska. We had an absolutely great time with that.
That's incredible. And do you have a job? Do you have to? Is your job playing lotto?
You know, I'm glad you used that word because that's what I try to make people understand. That, you know, there's casual lottery players, and there's nothing wrong with that. These are people that play once in a while. They buy a couple of tickets here, a couple of tickets there. They're not really serious about it. But then you have serious lottery players, and that's what my method is all about. It's for people who really want to win. If you really want to win, you have to consider this like a job. So you have to be willing to put the time and the effort into doing the research, and I teach you how to do that in my book, and it's very easy to do. And to find out if you got a winning set, if you got a good set of numbers to play. So yeah, it is a job. So I have two jobs. I also own a talent agency, and I book like 70s and 80s classic rock acts like Rare Earth and Eddie Money and Doobie Brothers and stuff like that. But yeah, I have two jobs because my other job is the lottery.
Well, you do know that you're coming back on here with your 70s and 80s talent people, by the way. But it seems like really a good time. But here's another thing. You know, I've dabbled in winning things. I once won $250,000 a millionaire, and even as a kid, oh my gosh, everywhere I was turning, folks were like, "Hey, can I get some cash?" It was very overwhelming. How did you handle all of the people coming out of the woodworks once they realized that whether it was luck or skill, you had a lotto trend in you, and you were in the green?
You know, it's funny. I haven't been hit that often by those kinds of people. I've had a few here and there once in a while. And the only thing you can do is ignore it because you're going to get people that are, they're going to come out of the woodworks. You know, one of the things that I'm pushing for in whatever way I can do it is I'm pushing for anonymity, where people can be anonymous. That's the word I was looking for. You know, some states you can win and you can stay anonymous and your name doesn't have to be publicized. I believe that's the way it should be. Some states, they insist that you have to be publicized and that people have to know who you are. You know, you take a guy who maybe is working construction all his life and he all of a sudden wins a big lottery. And next thing you know, he's thrown into a room with all these reporters and TV cameras and flashes going off. And you know, you're freaking the poor guy out. I believe that if people want to win and stay anonymous, they should be allowed to do so. Me, I'm used to it. I've been in the entertainment business all my life, so it doesn't bother me.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't bother you, but hopefully I think people, if they had to choose between millions of dollars and being anonymous, they might choose millions of dollars. And in that case, they might want to take a look at your book. Learn how to increase your chances of winning the lottery. And I'm tickled that you've been able to join us. I have to say, I rarely say this, but your wife is a lucky, lucky lady.
Well, I'm actually the lucky, lucky guy that she married.
Obviously, she is priceless, and so are you. It's been fantastic talking with you, Richard, but I gotta go. I gotta go with my lotto. I do have one last question, really quickly. If you had to choose, would you put your cash in the Powerball or the Mega Millions, or would you put it in scratch-offs? Which would you choose?
Which would I choose, or what do I recommend people to choose?
What do you recommend people choose?
Okay, that's a different question, because what I recommend people to choose is, what I'm trying to teach, it's not that people are stupid, it's just they don't know how to play. So what I'm trying to do is to teach people who don't play with greed, play with smarts. Yes, you'd love to win 40 million or 100 million, but if you don't have enough money to play a lot, you only got a little bit, go after the games with the smaller jackpots. Yes, 40 million would be great, but most people today, if they only won $100,000, that could be life-changing for them. So play the games with the smaller jackpots because you have better chances of winning.
So the scratch-offs.
Scratch-offs is one of those, but there's also ball games that have smaller grand prizes.
All right. I've learned a lot. I'll be getting my scratch-off. So thank you so much for joining us, and all y'all make sure to stay.
It's been said that you're more likely to be struck by lightning than you are to win the lottery. Well, if that's the case, then I should be dead by now, because I've won 7 lottery game grand prizes since I started playing. That's right. My name is Richard Lustig, and I've won 7 lottery game grand prizes and have pocketed over $1 million in prize money. That doesn't even include the hundreds of thousands of dollars in smaller prizes I've won. I've used my lottery winnings to purchase my dream home, a Harley, and a Jaguar. My wife and I go on trips and cruises a few times a year. And because I want my teenage son in a safe, reliable car, I bought him a BMW. All of this paid for with the lottery money I won. Believe me, none of this is to brag. It's just to prove my point. You don't win 7 lottery game grand prizes by luck. I've learned through a painstaking method of trial and error that winning the lottery happens by following a method. That's right. Winning the lottery is all about stacking the odds in your favor, while at the same time decreasing the house odds, or things that prevent most people from winning. Don't worry if it sounds confusing. All you need to know is that after 7 lottery game grand prize wins, I've cracked the code to winning the lottery and can show you how to win it too. My last 3 wins have profited me well over $1 million. My biggest win to date was $842,152 playing Mega Money in Florida. I recently won a $98,000 Fantasy 5 grand prize. And if you give me just a few minutes of your valuable time, I've put together a list of things I did that helped me become the first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. So please, watch this video until the very end, because I'm going to give you some tips you can use tonight to increase your odds of winning the lottery. Now, before I share my proven techniques, I'm sure you're wondering why you should even believe me when I say I can increase your odds of winning the lottery. After all, this is an industry known for scam artists who claim they can help you win the lottery. So I've always been a big believer in proof. The honest reality is you can never get enough proof. So let me put your skepticism to rest. First off, you can find actual documentation of my winnings right on the Florida Lottery website. That's FLAlottery.com. You can also find me on Google. I've appeared on national TV several times to share my lottery winning methods. Here I am on The Rachel Ray Show. And here I am with Robin Roberts from Good Morning America. No one, and I mean no one, has ever won 7 lottery game grand prizes. I know, because I was recently recognized by Ripley's Believe It or Not because of my rare feat of winning 7 times. I've been on the Learning Channel, Good Morning America, Fox and Friends, the Today Show in Australia, and many more. How many lottery gurus can claim that and have the proof to back it up? I'm also a best-selling author with my book on how to win the lottery. But more importantly, here's plenty of proof that my methods have helped several regular, average people to win more money than most people will ever see in a lifetime. This review I am very proud of. Larry started using my methods in Iowa and won over a $9 million jackpot. Here's what they had to say. Larry Dawson of Webster City, Iowa, came forward with his wife, Kathy, to accept their $9.09 million jackpot. He told lottery officials and media that after Kathy saw this guy on TV, Richard Lustig, me, who had won a bunch of lottery game grand prizes, she bought his book and they started playing just for fun. And here's another one from a couple who won $2 million. My husband and I used Richard Lustig's method, and within months, we hit a Mega Money jackpot for $2 million. We only play Lotto from now on using these strategies, Jennifer and Sean in Florida. And here's a review from someone who won big from playing scratch-offs using my method. I decided to purchase an entire package of scratch-off tickets, Maryland Lottery Ravens. I utilized my winnings to purchase another package. And in that package, December 2011, was a $250,000 winning scratch-off ticket. That's from Richard Taylor Crisfield in Maryland. And here's a review from a winner in Australia who used one of my methods for playing Powerball. I picked up $46,000 last week in our Powerball lottery as a result of keeping the same numbers. That's from Bill Berryman in Melbourne, Australia. And here's a review from Kevin, who is now winning consistently using my methods. Before your methods, I played for 20 years. The most I ever won was $86. Now, I win about $100 a week. I even won tickets of $1,000 and $5,000. I've won $23,075 since. And another review from Jason, who won big using my method while playing the 100 million blockbuster scratch-off game. Oh my God, I won $10,000 today on the $100 million blockbuster scratch-off. I can't believe it. I'm looking at the card over and over again. That's from Jason in Kansas City, Missouri. And one last review from Bob in Connecticut, who used one of my methods to win a nice-sized prize and is using it to take his family to Disney World. We bought the same 5 numbers for 26 draws consecutively. Number set 1, not a winner. Number set 2 won $3. Number set 3 won $3. Number set 4 won $34. I thought, sweet. Number set 5, $3,269. 5 out of 6 on Lotto. We're going to use the money to pay for our trip to Disney World. That's from Bob in Shoreline, Connecticut. I receive tons of emails and reviews every month, too many to list here. Here's the most important thing. The same methods they use to win, you can learn too. And as you watch this short video, I'm going to hand you a legal winning lottery method that has been 100% responsible for earning me several millions from the Florida lottery. I've spent the last 20 years developing a method that has allowed me to greatly increase my chances of winning the lottery and bring in huge piles of cash. Now, it definitely wasn't smooth sailing the entire time. You see, before I learned the secrets of playing the lottery, I was broke and living paycheck to paycheck. So I started playing the lottery here in Florida in the 80s. Just like everybody else, I had dreams of winning it big, and just like everybody else, I'd win a few bucks here and there, but nothing to write home about. Rather than settle for losing each time, I began trying and experimenting with different ways I could increase the odds of winning. I just knew that if I got really good at putting as many odds in my favor, I could beat the lottery and win on a consistent basis. So I continued to try everything. I'd sit at the Florida Lottery website for hours on end and try to reverse engineer and work my way backwards to figure out what led to winning. I spent hours trying to find winning patterns. I took every idea and variable that could be tested and kept track of what worked and what didn't. What I soon learned amazed me. There were patterns that all winning lotteries appeared to have in common. Because of that, I soon had dozens of strategies for increasing my odds at winning the lottery. Over time and after thousands of dollars playing, I began to refine and perfect my winning lottery method and started to win a little more each time, $50, then $100, then $500. I started writing down the strategies that worked and quickly tossed out those that didn't. I kept winning. As I kept increasing my odds, I won my first lottery game grand prize of $10,000. Shortly after that, using the same method, I won my second lottery game grand prize. When I won my third and fourth lottery, I knew I had developed a winning lottery method that really worked. That's right. I cracked the code on winning the lottery more often. I won Fantasy 5 jackpots of $74,000 and $98,000, and a Florida Mega Money prize worth $842,000. Just those 3 alone were $1 million. Since then, I've won 7 lottery game grand prizes and pocketed multiple millions in winnings. As far as I know, I'm the only person in the world who is a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. And through years of trial and error, I've perfected a lottery method that greatly increases your odds of winning, even if you've never played or don't have much money to play with. That's right. I've developed a method to increase your odds of winning. Luck has nothing to do with winning 7 lottery game grand prizes. Once, sure, I'll say that might be the case. But 7 times? That's not luck. The best way to win are to increase the odds so they're in your favor while decreasing as many odds as you can that favor the lottery commission. Doing these things together can greatly increase the odds of winning the lottery and becoming rich overnight. The truth is, over the last 20 years, I've kept track of what worked and what didn't, and refined it into a method that has been incredibly accurate when it comes to winning. It was based on trial and error, seeing what was working and what wasn't, and refining and perfecting it from there. And I really feel that's what helped me win lottery game grand prizes 7 different times. It's because I approached it not by luck, but rather systematically. In all honesty, my big prediction for you is, if you follow the same method I created to win 7 lottery game grand prizes, you'll greatly increase the odds of you winning as well. That's why after 20 years, I can confidently say I know how to reduce most of the odds that cause people to lose, while increasing the odds that winners have used to win. After lots of hard work, testing, tracking, and tweaking, I've developed an amazing method that allows anyone to have the highest probability of winning the lottery. In other words, if you continue to reduce your odds of losing, sooner or later, you're going to win. My system has been proven to give you the highest probability of winning. The biggest reason most people don't win the lottery is because they don't follow any kind of proven system. In other words, they don't follow any set of rules. You can greatly increase your odds of winning by having discipline and following a proven system and a set of rules, and then never wavering from those rules. That is what I'll teach you. Without a disciplined strategy, it's hard to win the lottery. You've probably already found that out. You need to have the patience and discipline to follow some simple rules. Rules that have taken me over 20 years to perfect. Over the last 20 years, I've proven my formula for winning the lottery works because I've won 7 times. Also, I have a huge list of students who are winning more and more. These days, since money is no longer a motivator for me, my goal is to help others to avoid expensive mistakes and enjoy the same lottery winnings I've enjoyed. See, I had to learn everything from trial and error. But these shortcut lottery secrets allowed me to get out of the rat race and live life on my own terms. These days, I'm completely happy, and I owe it all to playing the lottery. I've taken 20 years of my lottery playing and condensed it into the steps I've used to win 7 times. In each of my 7 lottery wins, I broke down what I did for each win and realized that none of it was sheer luck. I knew exactly what I was doing. The same secret that has allowed me to enjoy a life of financial freedom, drive the nicest cars, live in the big house, anyone can learn. There are dozens of secrets that I've uncovered and learned over the last 20 years of playing. What these secrets do is increase your odds of winning while decreasing the odds of losing. For example, here's a huge tip that can make you a lot of money if you play scratch tickets. The best way to increase your chances of winning is to buy at least 10 tickets in a row of the same roll of scratch-offs. Almost every time you do that, you'll have a winning ticket in there, sometimes even 3 or 4 winners. Each batch of tickets has a certain number of winning tickets in order to comply with the odds printed on the tickets. Every time you get a loser, you reduce your chances of losing by 1. And considering each batch has considerably more losers than winners, each time you buy a new ticket from a different batch, the pool of possible losing tickets to choose from increases. If you buy 10 in a row of the same kind, odds are almost every time you'll find a winning ticket. When I was on the Rachael Ray Show, they bought 125 consecutive tickets for the studio audience, including Rachel and I. Just to prove that my method works, everyone scratched their tickets at the same time. I had told them if they did this exactly like I described in my book, that they would have at least 12 winners. Well, the audience had 17 winners, with me being one of them. That's just one of the things I learned over 20 years of trial and error. As I learned more and more rules, I went from broke and barely making ends meet to becoming a millionaire and living a life where I can buy anything I want. My life turned around so fast, so I decided to share my winning lottery tips by writing a book. But since my first book was written, I've learned so many more winning methods, so I wanted another way to get my information into the hands of those who wanted to increase their chances of winning the lottery.
Imagine combining Lustig's system with 5 other best-performing systems on the market. These systems currently sell for $97 each. That's a retail value of $485. Now imagine getting all these lotto-busting systems in one easily downloadable package for just $69. Imagine what you could do with the tips and tricks outlined in those systems. Do you think the small investment of $69 would be worth the return you'd get from the lottery commissions? What will you do now? You have 2 choices. You can close this page and do nothing, and nothing will change for you. Or you can click on the link below and get instant access to the money-back guaranteed combined lotto-busting system that has created millionaires. Click the link below to get all 6 lottery systems and the accompanying automated lotto wheels for the small investment of just $69. If you don't win more than you invest within 60 days, we will refund you in full, no questions asked.